Yo guys, Crescent here. Welcome to another build video. Today I'll be showing you a Magicka Templar build video. This build will function around getting buffs from all your sets. So basically you will get 3 different buffs from all your sets, which is your Monster Helm and both of your 5p sets. So you have to work around the buffs. When you obtain the buffs, you can go aggressive or you can go more defensive. It's really up to you, but just make sure you know that what buffs you are getting and how you make use of the buffs. That's really important for this build. I would say this build is it's really powerful in non-CP. I will show you gameplay examples in a few days after I edit the new video. I just played this build for 2 or 3 hours in non-CP and I did pretty decent. Pure solo, no friends at all. That's how I test build, and I'll just show you the result in an upcoming gameplay video. Obviously, in CP, this build kinda lack a little bit of damage, but I will show you what you could use to gain that damage. And obviously, in CP, you want to play with a friend so that you can support him, and you obviously can do a lot of damage as well, and you can work around your buffs as well. That's why this build is really versatile. I would say for non-CP, this build you could go solo for this build. For CP, like usual, all the Templars, you need to get a mate, which I would say to be really optimal, you know. If you want to kill a lot of players, like you want to kill 4, 5, 6 players, you need a friend. A Templar can't do it alone unless those players are really bad. Then yes, maybe you can do it. But Templar itself, in CP campaign, you really need a friend to help you with the damage output, because in CP everybody is just way too tanky. Especially, I'm not sure how other servers are, but in PC EU everybody's a tank now. Like everybody is just running 40k HP, 30k HP, so they are really hard to kill. That's the only problem I find. That's why I tested this build in non-CP, and it worked really well. Okay, let's hop straight into the sets then. Okay, so the first set we'll be using is Monster Helm, which is the Bloodspawn or Impenetrable, both. I will be using 1 stamina glyph on the head and the Magicka glyph on the shoulder. I'll tell you why I use that later. And there are 2 more options you could use. This is the defensive option, okay? Bloodspawn. I use Bloodspawn in non-CP when I'm soloing because I really need that defense, because everybody is dying really fast, hitting really hard. That's why I need that defense to survive in non-CP. In CP, you could definitely drop Bloodspawn if you want, but Bloodspawn is obviously really powerful as well. What you could use is obviously a good old Scoria. Yeah, Scoria. As you can see, Scoria hits really hard. That is unbuffed damage, 11.4. Yeah, it doesn't crit anymore, but it's still really powerful, Scoria. Okay, the second helm is Scoria, and the third helm is, some people might not know, but Slime Crow is pretty powerful as well, because it gives you more crit heals as well, and Minor Berserk gives you a lot more damage as well. So the Scoria and Slime Crow is the offensive Monster Helm, and Bloodspawn is the defensive Monster Helm. Okay, and I'll just go through the sets that I typically show. The Lich is our regeneration set for this build. We will be using, like usual, 3 jewelries, 1 cost reduction, 1 Magicka recovery, 1 spell damage like usual, and sword and board. So you want powered on the back bar. There are 2 really good I would say traits on the back bar. Infuse is pretty good, but you need to do a lot of light attacks on the back bar. So Infuse is pretty good if you are disciplined, but if you're under too much pressure, I feel like Infuse is not that good. Powered is the best. Look at that, 4.5%. It got buffed. It's really powerful now. So I would say powered is the best. Obviously, you could use any enchantment you want, because for me, if I'm on my back bar, I won't do a lot of light attack because I'll be blocking a lot. I'll be getting a lot of damage. I'll be misforming a lot on my back bar. So I just put this as Magicka enchantment. It doesn't really matter. You can put something else if you want. You could put weapon damage if you want. It's really up to you. Okay, so the secret of this build now is revealed. Deadric Trickery. This is the set that I'll be using. Okay, so the 2, 3, 4 piece is health, stamina, Magicka. Okay, decent, not special, not really powerful, not really weak. It's just overall really solid stats. But you need to know what you get is for every 10 seconds, every 20 seconds you will get a 10-second buff. So it's like a 50% downtime set, and you will get Expedition, which is speed, decent, I would say, not bad. Protection, really powerful, 30% healing increase. This is one of the most powerful. Protection is damage decrease, damage taken 30% reduction, really powerful. Mending is healing increase 30%. Heroism is 3 ultimate per 1 second, 1 second every second, really powerful as well. Vitality is extremely powerful as well. You get, I think, 25 or 30% healing receive. So if you notice, all of this buff you can't get on Templar unless you are using something like a Resto Staff, you know. You can't get all these buffs on a Templar. That's why it's so good. Okay, maybe Expedition is not that good because you got Mistform, but besides that, everything else is really powerful. Even Expedition is pretty good. Sometimes when you want to sprint a little bit, you don't feel like using Mistform. Let's say you use a Shield Ultimate and you get Expedition, you will run really fast while you're blocking as well. So it's really powerful as well. Okay, I tried this set. There's a bug on it. There are 2 bugs. Okay, I would say if the bugs are fixed, this set will be super powerful in my opinion for Templar. But the first bug is when, okay, let's say you're riding, okay, you're riding on a horse and you got into combat, you will automatically get the buff and dismount. That is the downside of this set. I tested it already. Suddenly I just dismount myself and I get the buff instantly, one of these 5 random buff. That is one of the bugs of this set. It shouldn't be like that. And the second bug is if you are using it only on a back bar. Let's say I use 4 pieces on the body, okay, and I use a back bar here and I put, let's say I just back bar Lich and Deadric Trickery, alright, it doesn't, the cooldown doesn't continue like a proc set. For example, you know, Viper, if you put it on a back bar, the cooldown will tick down, the 4-second cooldown will tick down, but this 20-second cooldown won't tick down at all if you're on your front bar. And the moment you switch back to your, okay, let's say you're on your back bar, you waited for 10 seconds and you switch back to your front bar, you need to wait another 20 seconds. That's why it's just really weak on the back bar. You just can't use it on the back bar. You have to use it 5 piece on the body. That's how you use this set. I tested it already because I wanted to use it back bar Lich and back bar Deadric Trickery, so I get the maximum stats and everything, but unfortunately you have to front bar 5 piece it on the body, Deadric Trickery. Okay, so what we'll be using is the swords we'll be using willpower. I will put weapon damage and the magic damage enchantment to Undead and Daedra, up to you. You can put flame, you can put shock, both are really powerful as well. Okay, we'll be using all impenetrable, and we'll be using 5 pieces of tri-stat glyphs on all of the body, belt, gloves, legs and shoes. So you put 5. So what we get is the 14k max stamina. This is my sweet spot. I always like to get 13-14k max stamina. That is like my minimum. Okay, so yeah, there's one more option. What you could run is you could use a Dormy House set. Dormy House, you use 1 piece Dormy House on the shoulder or on the head. Okay, so you drop the both monster helm, you put the Dormy House here, and then you could use a willpower jewelry, and then what you use is use a Lich set on the body, and then you substitute the head with one of the crafted set Deadric Trickery. So you use 5 piece Deadric Trickery on the body, 1 piece Lich on the body as well, and then 1 piece willpower. So you get 3 piece willpower on the front bar, so you get that extra damage, okay, that spell damage about 200 plus, and you get that Dormy House extremely powerful max stamina and max magicka set, 1 piece, sorry. So that is how you could use if you don't want to use a monster helm. That is a really solid option as well. Your max stamina will go up to, you can just put more magicka glyphs if you're using the Dormy House setup. Okay, so that's it for the sets. I'll show you the totally unbuffed stats. This is the unbuffed stats on the front bar, on the Deauville bar. Max magicka is not that high, it's decent. Health is really solid, stamina is solid, recovery is really powerful. This, you need to remember, this is unbuffed, no Lich buff, no potion buff. It could go to 3.9k with every single buff up. Okay, spell damage will go up a lot as well because you get minor and major sorcery from Templar, so your spell damage will increase a lot as well, and we're using heavy armor obviously, and you will get even more damage from the passive from heavy armor. That's why it's really nice. Okay, so yeah, crit resistance is really powerful as well. You can look at that, it's really high, it's 2.4k. That is a really solid crit resistance. Spell crit will go up to 32%, which is a bit low in my opinion, but it's good enough. You'll be using the Atronach Mundus Stone. You could use something else if you want, but I feel like Atronach is the best just for me to get this really awesome recovery. On the back bar, obviously you will have 2k recovery because we are using Lich on the back bar. 5-piece Lich on the back bar. Okay, I'll go through. Yeah, I've totally forgot to mention we are Vampire, and we'll be using the max health, max Magicka and Magicka recovery food drink, Witch Mother Proton Brew. I almost forgot the name. Witch Mother Proton Brew. We'll be using that, and we are Vampire. Okay, I'll go through the skills now. So on the front bar, I'll be using Degeneration. Obviously you can switch it around, but this is just what I'm comfortable with now when I'm playing solo. I'll be using Degeneration, Toppling Charge, Puncturing Sweeps, Purifying Light, Vampire's Bane, Dawnbreaker, Smiting obviously to get the stun, Extended Ritual, Channel Focus, Breath of Light. If you're a pure solo player, you could use another morph of Breath of Light. I think that is a bit more powerful. Honor of the Dead, you get healing anyone who is below 75%, restore 60% of the cost of this ability, so it's really good for resource. But sometimes I play in group, so I feel like Breath of Life is the go-to for me. Absorb Magic, obviously you could switch it around, you could use really different skills. You could even change the morph to defensive stance if you want. Options are, obviously you could use Javelin. Javelin is pretty decent. If you're playing in a small group, you could use Blazing Shield. That's really powerful as well. Blazing Shield, you could give a lot of resource to your friends. Obviously you could use Radiant Oppression on the front bar, and you use on the back bar Degeneration. That could work as well. Even you could use Eclipse as well if you want. The Total Dark is really powerful as well. Okay, so these are the skills that you could substitute for Absorb Magic. This is your flex spot, so to say. And obviously you need Elusive Mist form just to get away from Zergs, get away from snares, roots and everything. And on the back bar, Spell Wall, you'll be using Spell Wall. You could use Healing Ulti, Remembrance, you could use, depends on how big is your group, or are you playing solo. If I'm playing solo, I either use Bats or Spell Wall. I prefer Spell Wall at the moment because yeah, that's just too many projectiles in the game nowadays. Everybody is just shooting projectiles at you. That's why Spell Wall is really powerful. Not as powerful as I would say like a Restore Ultimate, but still really good. Spell Wall. Restore Ultimate is just ridiculously good, to be honest. Okay, so these are the skills. Obviously you could use Meteor on the front bar. You could use different Ultimate if you want, but I just feel like Dawnbreaker as a solo player is the best at the moment for Templar. Okay, what else do I miss? I think I covered almost every. I need to go through the CP, sorry. Okay, so on a green tree, the tower tree, you'll be using 11 Siphoner. Siphoner is getting a buff next patch. I might put more into Siphoner, but at the moment 11 is good enough. Warlord 56, Sprinter 2, just a little bit, doesn't really matter. Arcanist 75, this is really important. Tumbling 20, and 56 Shadow 1. Bless 15, 40 Elfborn, 37 Elemental Expert, 10 to Spell Erosion, 51 into Master at Arms, and 11 Shattering Blows, and 56 into Thermal Church. Okay, Ironclad, you need 66 points, really important. This is going to reduce a lot of the incoming damage, especially from Stamina Night Blades. Those guys hit super hard and you need Ironclad to resist them. Resistance, you 23 into it. Hardy 49, 43 Elemental Defender. I put more into Hardy obviously because I'm a Breton firstly, so I get a lot more reduction damage from magic damage. So my magic resistance is a lot higher, so I put more into hardy. But overall, you want to put slightly more into hardy, just 1% more into hardy. 18 into thick skin. This is really important because of Destro ultimate, especially the fire Destro ultimate. If you don't have thick skin, you're gonna get burned from the Destro ultimate. I understand that you can cleanse a lot of dots, that's why thick skin is not super important, but just try to put some points into it. Get at least, like, I would say 5% into thick skin. 6 into expert defender, and 15 into quick recovery. Okay, so that is the build. I think just covered everything already. If you have any questions, just post it in the comments below, and I'll just go straight into the editing of the new video. I'll show you the gameplay in the next video, and hope you enjoy. Yeah, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the video. Okay, bye bye.